You know, as teens, we all have questions about faith and religion, but we've all been too scared to ask. Well, here at 1315, we strive to answer those questions so that you can boldly stand up for your faith in everyday scenarios, like over a cup of coffee. So, grab your coffee mugs and let's dive into today's episode. Good afternoon, everybody, or I guess whenever you're choosing to listen to this podcast. My name is Caleb Eckert, and I'm here with a very special, not so special guest for me. Special for y'all, not special for me. Guest, would you like to state your name and your business, please?
My business?
Your business. Not business like association, but like business as in like purpose or reason.
My name is Bethany Eckert.
Hey, there we go.
I don't know what my business is. Your sister?
Yeah, okay. Fun stuff. So, today we have Bethany, and yes, Bethany is actually my sister. She's one of two sisters that I have. She's the oldest one. Used to refer to her as Mom when we were young. That was an insult. That was not a compliment ever. But, you know, as we grew up, we matured, we had good times, and we love each other to this day very much. So, with that being said, I kind of want to dive in talking to her, just kind of hoping to encourage some of you college students that are getting ready to head off to college in August, which is like this month, or, you know, just a couple weeks or so. And we really want to talk about how to make an impact on a college campus, or even if it's not on a college campus, how to make an impact, in your own school, in your community. So, with that being said, we're gonna run through our quick sip with Bethany really quick, so y'all can kind of have a short little get to know her, other than we're related. So, Bethany, on a scale of meh to mind-blowing, how would you rate your week so far?
It's been pretty up and down. I guess if it's started the week by working 3 night shifts in a row, so that was like below meh.
3 night shifts in a row is below meh.
Yeah, it's below meh. It
okay.
was terrible, but you know, we made it, and been steadily improving ever since then.
Steadily improving. Do you have any more night shifts this week?
No more. We're back to the daytime now.
Okay.
So.
Back to daytime.
Yes, we're leaving. Whew.
Okay. What did you eat? What did you eat before? I can't say coming to record with me because actually I came to you. But what did you eat before I arrived?
I ate some pretzels and Nutella.
Pretzels with Nutella? Excellent choice. What kind of pretzels?
Sourdough niblets.
Sourdough niblets.
That's what they're called.
I know. I know. All right. What is your... Oh, golly. I guess you can't really pick one of these because you're, because you're never... Nursing messes them all up. But what's your favorite time of day? Morning, midday, evening, or night?
Yeah, it does kind of mess them all up. I like how much of the day I get to experience when I'm up early. However, I really don't like the process of waking up. I would say, like, mid-morning is my favorite time. Like, 9 to 10. That's a great time.
Okay, 9 to 10 it is. I'm personally fond. That's where things start to go downhill for me, personally. I'm good, like, 5 to 10, awesome. Everything after that, it's a little bit of a, it can be a little bit of a journey, a little bit of an experience. So, number 4. Which book have you finished reading most recently?
I just finished reading a book called The Shift, which takes you through... It's written by a nurse who became a nurse after being a writer for a long time. And she basically just takes you through one day on the job, one 12-hour shift on the job. It was really cool. It was probably the most accurate thing to my daily life as a nurse that I have ever read. So if you want to know what it's like to be a nurse, any of you who are thinking about going to nursing school, you could pick up The Shift. Shameless plug. Yeah.
Sweet. I, on the other hand, will never be a part of the medical field ever. Vow it, promise it, don't want anything to do with it. I will leave that to everyone else in the family except for myself. So, last question. Which book other than the Bible has impacted your life the most? Long pause.
Long pause. Well, there's a couple books I really like. I really love the book Les Miserables because I love musicals and I'm a big nerd. It's just such a great story, and so
she is a big nerd. I can
so I feel
testify to this.
I feel like that book has had a common just like place in my life for a long time, so it feels very impactful in the sense of it's just such a big part of who I am. But I also feel like in college I was impacted a lot by a book called Master Plan of Evangelism, which just takes you through the life of Jesus and how he basically came up with a strategic plan to evangelize the whole world and what we can learn from that and how we can do that as well.
He was the man with the plan.
Very big plan.
Still is the man with the very big plan. So, alright. So Bethany, would you like to tell us, so you are long and well through, you're long and well through your time, your obligation to college and college life, personally, but you still kind of have an impact and you still really have a hand in the lives of college students today. So can you walk me through where you were 4 years ago? Or I guess actually more than that. It was like 5, almost 6 years ago. Being a rising college freshman, what did that look like for you?
Man, so I went to VCU, which is close to Richmond. I wouldn't say it's in Richmond, but not the same as like growing up where we grew up. So I was pretty excited to go try things out. Wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about being there, but felt like I knew I was supposed to be there, so I went. Was definitely nervous, because you hear college is a big deal. Yeah, I think that's how I was kind of like going into it.
Sweet, so just kind of nervous and...
But excited at the same time.
Nervous but excited? Awesome.
I had guaranteed admission to the nursing school as well, so I was like really pumped, because I actually like... I feel like I was rather different from a lot of college students in the sense that I like pretty sure knew what I wanted to do.
Right.
There wasn't much figuring out to be done at that point, or so I thought. I was just like, yep, gonna be a nurse, showing up. Here we go, let's do it.
Okay, good plan. So, what did, so you got to VCU, first week of real college, like not like the welcome weeks or whatever, like the whole move-in, all those celebration, yay, you've made it to college kind of things. Like aside from those, like first real week of college, what's your game plan? What's your like, okay, I need to do this and I need to do this and oh my goodness, and what was one thing that you were like, oh my goodness, I need to do this, and like what was one thing that you were like, oh boy, that kind of like you weren't expecting like at all?
I think just the amount of work that you have is a lot. And the amount of like things they tell you to read and like chapters, and then everyone's like, oh, you don't actually have to read, and you're like, but I do, but you really don't. So all of you going off to college can reminisce a similar way soon. So I feel like my top priority list was, I was like extra organized. I had everything written down in a planner that I had to do and when it was due and when the tests were and all those things. Was also really concerned with making new friends and finding people to hang out with. And I also knew that going to college as like a Christian family kid, I needed to go to a campus ministry too. I needed to find a place where I could find Christian people in the school as well.
So, you talk about campus ministry, and we'll kind of hit on this for a second. Which campus ministry did you elect? Because it's not a campus ministry that is just for VCU. Because I know, obviously, but the listeners don't know.
Yeah, there are a lot of different campus ministries on.
Are all campus ministries created equal?
They are not. There are some very well-known, reputable ones, and then there are some that are a little sketchy and are cult-like. So stay away from those. If you want more information, let me know. But you're talking like the big ones that are pretty reputable, no matter where you are. Chi Alpha, Crew, InterVarsity, NBCM, and the Navigators is getting smaller now, but those all have reputable reputations and are nationwide, worldwide organizations. I personally tried them all out at VCU, and I ended up landing in InterVarsity.
Okay, so to this topic of InterVarsity. Now obviously you're gonna specifically talk about InterVarsity because that's what you've been a part of the longest, is what you understand. But this kind of the overarching theme does not go for just like one. It doesn't just go for one particular.
Yeah.
It's not just for InterVarsity. Is what I'm trying to say. It's applicable for all campus ministries, all campus
campuses.
ministries.
Yeah.
All campus ministries, all campuses. So, like, what's the appeal of a college campus group like that?
Yeah, so I think the biggest appeal I see is a missional appeal. Like, first of all, you get to be with people who are going through the exact same thing as you. You get to be with people who are in college and also love the place that you are. Like, when you're at college, like, you love your school, well, so does everybody else there. So, why not bring people together?
It's not like high school.
It's not like high school.
When people are at college and they enjoy their college.
You get to choose where you go for college, for the most part. And if you don't love your college, I would challenge you to learn to love it, because it's where God has placed you. So I think there's that appeal. There's also the appeal of, I think our generation has a really negative connotation of church, especially those who, some people who did grow up in church and others who did not. And so a campus ministry takes a lot of the intimidation out of faith for people. I had people coming to small group and large group and stuff who would never have stepped foot inside a church. We had people who were atheists coming to small group just because they really thought the people were nice and they loved the community they found there. Mm-hmm. Everyone going to college is looking for community. They're looking for friends. And so if they find them in InterVarsity or campus ministry, if they find them in that on campus, then they get to hear about Jesus every single week. Which is actually like a really cool opportunity. It's something that's very unique about a campus ministry that I think people often don't really get to see unless they've been a part of one.
So it's not so much as, I think, and this kind of goes back to, cause, fun fact, Bethany the book that I was vouching for last, a couple episodes ago with Alan was I Once Was Lost. Mm. Actually, you didn't recommend it to me, but you gave it to Mom, and Mom said...
I told Mom to recommend it to you.
Oh, well, there you go. So you did recommend it to me. So, this kind of goes back to the fact that there are phases, not so much phases, but levels.
There are, like, markers,
comfortability levels, I guess.
Yeah.
And dude, going to church is like, I don't know, if we're on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm making these numbers up, because some of this stuff isn't even in the book, but it's a perspective is kind of how to view it. Like, if you're on a scale of 1 to 3, or 1 to 5, excuse me. Going to church could be like a 3. Like having somebody step into a church could be like a 3. So if you're talking to somebody who's a 1 or a 2, they're never going to get into a church. And they're just going to continue to remain a 1 or a 2. Now, obviously there are other ways for the Lord to work, so we're not discounting that, but we're just, looking at the information.
Yeah, and so that's like something really cool about these campus ministries is they have a lot of fun. Like, man, we do stuff like play kickball in the middle of the campus, which is like the big central part of campus.
It's a compass. In the middle of campus.
Or, host pancake breakfasts on Saturday mornings and, events like that. Like, you could very easily say to your, non-Christian friends or people who are curious, like, hey, why don't you come hang out at Pancakes? And then you're not going to Bible study, you're not going to church, you're just hanging out with people. But they're getting to know your friends, they're getting to know other Christians, they're getting to know you better, and it gives them more trust. So then maybe the next step is, hey, you become friends with all these people that come to small group, like, what about coming to small group too?
Yeah.
And then they're at small group, and then they're hearing the gospel.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to the biggest thing is that one of the biggest tools you have for evangelism is the fact that you are that you're not a jerk. that's a big part of it. But is that you live a changed life. I think that's part of, that's kind of what draws people in about community group is that they're in this group and they're hanging out with these people. We're playing kickball with people and, we realize there's something different about them. I feel better about myself or I feel, I'm feel encouraged or I feel happy when I'm with these people because they don't drain my energy like all my other friends do.
Yeah. And
I think that kind of goes to that. And that's where, like campus ministries kind of hit the sweet spot on that purpose.
Yeah. I like to see them as, I like to talk about like a well, right? Like your campus ministry, your small group, like that's where you go to be encouraged and lifted up and filled up. And then you go out, or like a huddle, like a sports huddle, like, you're all coming together, you're reading the word, you're being encouraged, and then you say, okay, break. And then you head out in the world and you guys like go tell people about Jesus. And maybe sometimes you do it together. Maybe you and your buddy from small group decide you both have this mutual friend who's interested in Jesus and you're going to all read the Bible together one morning. Stuff like that, I think, are things that, skills and abilities that InterVarsity really taught me to do well and, allowed me to just really reach out to my nursing classmates really well. Like some of the most significant spiritual conversations I had in college weren't during small group or, during discipleship, but were actually just in the 10 minutes between classes because one of my classmates thought of something and came over to ask me because they knew I was a Christian. Like crazy stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then it comes even on an interaction like person to person is huge. Cause I think, when you get in and you kind of realize what it is and why you do what you do, you kind of, cause I feel like even then people are like, whoa, I don't ask people that are, are Christians are like, whoa. I don't invite people to church. Like, I don't, like, that's, it is scary to invite people to church. Like, and then, and then we kind of get into college. You're like, whoa, I am not inviting them to community group. And then you kind of step into it and you realize,
they're your friend.
Oh.
Yeah.
All we have to do is really, we're together and we're friends and we're hanging out, we're having a good time, and all these people are meeting Jesus through the lives of other people, and that kind of opens the doors, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, even just being willing to have, I think like being prepared and encouraged to just have spiritual conversations. Like I had a lot of people ask me in nursing school, like, why are you not stressed about this? Like, people are very uptight in nursing school, and it, it tends to become, like, how you are doing in class, which is always so dumb to me, because it's not like only 10 of you are going to get to be nurses. Like, you're all going to get to be nurses. You should just all be in this together, not be so competitive with each other.
Because when you get out of nursing school, nobody really cares.
No one cares. No one actually cares. But even,
Work
like,
hard, though. People
saying to me, like, why are you not stressed about this? Like, why are you not freaking out about the test? And getting to look at them and say, like, well, I don't really, I work hard, I study, I do my work, I put in a lot of hours at the library, but at the end of the day, like, that's not what defines me. Like, that's not who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm more than a nursing student. And it's like, because of Jesus, like, I believe that that's where my value comes from, and not from how I do on this test. Like, I'd love to talk to you more about that. Like, well, there's a conversation starter for you. Like, not even just everyday conversation becomes an opportunity.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like sharing or inviting, more or less, has become so hard.
Yeah.
Because we've become so uptight about it. Mm. Because honestly, I mean, it could happen for anybody, or for any subject. I mean, like, when you think about it, you think about something that's important to your life, like eating food. Okay, I mean, just imagine how weird it would be that was something essential, and something that's essential to your health. And number two, that you enjoy, or at least I hope you enjoy eating. I do. No, that's not the case for all people, but you enjoy it. Yeah. If that becomes, just suppose you were to become stressed about talking about eating food because I don't know what their diet is, so I can't ask them if they want to, like, go grab a burger or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing. It doesn't have to be.
You don't have to be arguing with them to tell them about yourself. And I think that's a big point to make, even in having spiritual conversations and talking to people about Jesus. Like, a lot of times people aren't ready to change themselves, and so arguing with them that they're wrong is not helpful. Like,
nope.
Really what is helpful is to share what you believe and how you view life, and invite them to take steps closer to Jesus. That doesn't always mean, do you want to be a Christian right now? But hey, would you want to hear about the Bible verse I read this morning? Like, I'd love to share it with you. It was really encouraging to me. It reminded me about God's forgiveness or God's grace, and just sharing about your own personal walk with the Lord, and then inviting them to be a part of it in small ways that get bigger and bigger and bigger. That book that Caleb mentioned earlier, I Once Was Lost, like, really is great for helping kind of think about that.
And it's an easy read, too. So.
Yeah, really short.
It's like, I mean, if you're smart like Bethany, it's like a 30-minute read. If you're a normal person, it's like, I don't know. If you read it every day, it's like 5 days, maybe.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad. So definitely pick it up. Get a Kindle version, get a paperback copy version. I can't remember who it's by. It's by a whole lot of people. It is by
Don Everts and Doug Shapp.
Don Everts and Don Shapp.
Doug Shapp.
Doug Shapp. Don Everts and Doug Shapp.
Highly recommend.
Highly recommended. Definitely take a look. Okay. So, yeah, I think definitely that's one thing that we need to become better at.
Yeah.
Realizing is that some people don't give a rip. They really just want to talk to prove you wrong, or they want to find fault in you, or C, actually, I'm going to give you 4 options. There's more than C. Or C, they really, they're just kind of gathering information, or D, maybe they legitimately want to change. But if we don't
listen to them. If
we don't listen to them and you're not paying attention, you'll never understand, or you'll never notice when a person is ready to change or when they're not ready to change.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been talking a lot about that, or thinking a lot about that recently, about what's the difference between listening in order to respond, and what's the difference between listening to understand. I think a lot of the times we listen to people, like genuinely do listen to people, so that we can respond to them. Whereas, like, what if we changed and listened so we could understand them and understand what's going on? I think just like something I've been thinking about recently.
Yeah, because you can't really talk about the other side if you don't understand the other side.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have to agree with the other side.
Yeah, but you should understand it.
But you do definitely have to understand it.
And see that they're not dumb for thinking, like, there's a reason why they believe what they believe. There's a reason why they do what they're doing, and it might not be, in your opinion, right, but if they genuinely believe it, in their opinion, they're genuinely doing the right thing. Yeah.
Because to them, there is no fault in what they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So definitely, that's how to kind of, that's how you make an impact on your college campus.
Yeah.
And it's legit so easy. Like, yo, why don't you come play kickball with me? Like,
and my pals from InterVarsity.
Yeah, come play kickball with us today. It starts at this time, and we're gonna meet here, and I'll see you there. I'll even drive you if you need to, or walk with you, or come get you, whatever. But it is legit. That it is honestly that easy.
Yeah, it is, and it's like, it is an amazing thing to be a part of a group of people who want to invest and love the place where they're going to school well.
Yeah.
And they want to do it together, too. There's, like, really no other time in your life where you're going to be surrounded by so many different kinds of people that are all in that age range as you. And, that's a really unique opportunity to get to be like, yeah, we are college students, and we really care about this campus, and we want it to love Jesus. And so we're going to work together to do that. I think that's, like, what campus ministry gives the space for and the opportunity for. And it is just a really, really unique thing. That has, certainly changed a lot of lives. A lot of lives of people I know, a lot of lives of my students. Even thinking, like, just this past year, we had 5 different nursing students come to faith.
Wow.
In our chapter. One of them even, she's so funny. She came for the first time because she came to a pizza party. She saw a sign for free pizza, and she came, and she was telling me this summer, she was, like, reflecting on the whole year and just crying, and she was like, I just wanted a free piece of pizza, and instead I found Jesus. It's like one of my favorite quotes anyone's ever said to me now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you make an impact, and it's that simple, and that's what we want. That's kind of what we want to teach y'all at, with Grounds for Faith and with 1315 is we have this extraordinary faith, but the best way to share it is ordinary ways. Like, there's nothing special about the way you talk about Jesus. It's not. Granted, now you're holy and you're reverent to the fact that he is God and he's worthy of all honor, worship, and praise. But talking about him with people should be ordinary and easy, like over a cup of coffee. It's an everyday thing. Yeah. Or over a cup of, or I guess it's really a bottle of SIP, S-I-P-P. This is Mojo Berry, blackberry and mint with lime. So thank you, Bethany, for providing the sparkling organics for today. This is intrigued. Love all the drinks from Richmond, by the way. You should check out all the drink shops in Richmond. If you're ever in Richmond, check out the drink shops in Richmond. There's a whole bunch of them. Lots of sodas. You can get like ranch soda at
Rocket Fizz.
Rocket Fizz. There you go. So check those out. Those are sweet. So go ahead and take a moment to subscribe to the podcast, because it would be a shame to miss an episode of this. And also go ahead and take the opportunity to check out our blog, groundsforfaith.com. And yeah, we'll be welcoming Ben back soon. Oh, actually, by the time this goes out, Benjamin will already be back.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Caleb will be very happy.
So yeah, welcome Benjamin back, and you can give him a little round of applause if you'd like. Yeah. So thank you for your time. Thank you for, thanks for your time. All right. Thanks, and I hope y'all join us again for another episode next week. Bye.